So our food style is a very sort of a modern approach. We use lots of interesting techniques, but try to make sure that the flavour and deliciousness of the dish is most important. Obviously a lot of inspiration comes from the garden, having access to different ingredients and lots of ingredients. So we're really trying to make the food as flavoursome as possible. The menu changes constantly based around the produce that we're harvesting. We never really repeat the same dishes. Altogether, we have about 15 acres of kitchen garden here in Dunkeld to supply the two restaurants. And it's really a massive part of the restaurants. It's where the menus and all the dishes start. And we just go around and see what's available, what's running out. And that's how we build our new menu items. Hi, my name's Robin Wickens. I'm the executive chef here at Wickens at the Royal Mail Hotel in Dunkeld in Victoria. I've been in Australia for close to 30 years now. I had a restaurant previously in Melbourne and then moved here out to Western Victoria, and we opened this restaurant 8 years ago now, and yeah, I've been here loving it ever since. So the first dish we did was our beetroot dish. So this is based around a variety of beetroot called a cylinder beetroot. So it grows into a cylinder shape. It comes stuffed with either a whipped bone marrow mousse or a sugar beet puree. Serve it with berries, some pickled blackberries and a blackberry juice reduction. Sometimes the same dish has been on in different times of the year, and we might use apple if it's in autumn. So it kind of changes a little bit depending on what is in season. This is probably one of the few dishes which does reappear on the menu. Not so much a signature dish, but it does come back a few times throughout the year. So when we're creating dishes, we get inspired by all sorts of things. We're constantly talking about food within the kitchen team. A dish might start from talking about something we ate on the weekend, or a favourite like childhood memory dish, fast food or snack food. And we really try and create these dishes with lots of layers of flavour and try and concentrate on certain ingredients and use the same ingredient in multiple ways throughout the dish. The second dish we did was our fish dish. We only use fish that's caught kind of locally around this area. So we have access to things like John Dory and lots of whiting. So this was a John Dory dish. The fish has been cooked directly on the coals, and we're serving it with things like ratatouille and basil, so classic combinations that we really want to try and highlight these kind of classic methods and then do it in a way that has like the most intense ratatouille you've ever tasted. And then we add a few little more technical elements like the zucchini flower puree. As a menu as a whole, depending on the season and what the big harvests are coming into the kitchen, we might use the same ingredient multiple times across the menu, but trying to create different styles of dishes based on the same ingredient. So if it's a tomato season at the moment, we might have 3 or 4 different tomato dishes included in the menu, but they're all different styles of tomato dishes. And that's really how we come up with dishes, just from constantly discussing food. Obviously with a large, passionate kitchen team, everyone has input into the menus, and we just constantly coming up with new, crazier ideas as we go. And then the final dish was our dessert at the moment, using a lot of our almond harvest. So it's based around an almond mousse that we flavoured with a little bit of coconut and cherries. So we just got our one big cherry harvest for the year, and cherry and coconut is a classic Australian sweet as a cherry ripe. So we've tried to build that into a more refined mousse version of it. So it has inside the mousse is layers of cherry puree and then an almond and coconut cremeux. It has a liquid cherry brandy centre, and then we have our little piece of cherry ripe on top. And then it's served with a toasted almond sorbet, which is made from all of our harvested almonds as well. So the restaurant was designed around trying to use as many local ingredients or local materials as possible. So the sandstone on the tables is from a Grampians quarry that we own, making advantage of the landscape views of the mountains from the dining area. So it's really trying to put the restaurant right into the local environment. And really with the restaurant, although it is a degustation menu and it is fine dining, We really want to make it a comfortable and approachable experience for people. So there's lots of kind of fun elements throughout the meal to kind of making it more relaxed. We don't want to have a stuffy dining experience, so it's really about the guest's experience and making sure that they're comfortable. They'll see lots of familiar combinations throughout the menu, as well as lots of ingredients they haven't necessarily tried or heard of before. So we really want to make it an enjoyable, comfortable experience for the guests.